Wait a minute. Apparently we're live. Are we? Are we? I'm looking over here on the actual page because I have to mute it when it goes live. I'm looking. It's still not going live. We have chat, but there's still nothing coming up over here. Nobody can see us. Oh, there it is. It's okay. So I can mute it. I feel better. Yeah. Hey, Dre.
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
Randy?
We just went live. Oh, and here's Ron too. Right exactly when we went live. Angel is en route from Puyallup, so he will be running a little behind. But as you saw, this week is about the need to upgrade gear, or what was it? What was it? How was it? I worded it. Yes, the need for new gear, flat out. Just the need for new gear, and like the anxiety you go through. Like I know I considered the Air 3. I know Randy kind of for about 5 seconds, and then but it seems like that we're always upgrading, and this and Angel kind of wanted to tie it in with Thanksgiving. But I was like, well, it's a little early. So, but this is, should you be thankful for what you've got, or is it cool to envy the gear? So let me run back over here really quick and see who came in. We got Dusty, East Coast Thrills, saying Holy Stone rules. Akira Show is lurking in the background. Jody Drone Shots is also here. David, AZ Drone Dudes, is in the house also. USA Drone Flyer, not having to attend a football game tonight, is in the house. Let's see. I fly a line of sight. 5-inch drone. Spams while in flight. Why is this? Oh, I don't. That's not a question. Randy, does that make any sense to you? I get fly line of sight. But now
he's driving. I guess he's driving a 5-inch self-built.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
But I don't know.
I'm not sure what the spams bit. Yeah, see, even Jody's like spams, and like
maybe
I don't get it either.
Spasms, maybe.
Yeah, maybe spams is a typo.
Or hiccups. Props off. Glad to have you in the house. What is it? I want a 13-inch beast class.
I want one of those too.
Like the long, is that the ones that you can like stick a big battery in and they fly for like an hour?
I don't know, but God bless you what I got.
Yeah.
you didn't read the end bill. Pops off once that 13-inch, but he's on a Whoop budget.
Oh, but he's on a Whoop budget. Well,
Yeah.
like we had a guy on the show one time, Benson Kalahar, who flies. He flies all long range, and he goes way up in the mountains here in Washington State, and he'll fly and go down those mountain peaks.
Oh.
And it's just so cool seeing it go down through there, especially when there's snow or when he's going across a glacier or something. It's really cool. Let me see. I'm rolling past what was here earlier. Mark White in the house. Glad to have you. Rolling through. Johnny Drone Flyer. Good to see you as well. He had a good show tonight. Glad to see all the people hanging out over there and having a good time. Randy is here because he has internet. He has achieved internet speed once again. So he is amongst the... Yes, so he is
Randy's
amongst
a
us
spokesman
again.
for Armstrong Cable.
Yeah, I can't really complain because I've had them for almost 4 years and I've never had any issues. And then finally I have an issue and it's like 2 days almost. I'm like, Jesus.
Scott is not here. But he's in here in spirit alone. But he's not here physically, which is true, I have to admit. Northside. Okay, Dom is in the background lurking as well. I'm trying to catch up here. Flying Flynn Media. Good to see you as well. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. Let's see. He said, it's so hard to be happy with what you got because they can continue what you got in less than 3 months. It doesn't seem that way anymore, man. And the upgrades are like this big, and the price tag is like this big. Of course, the last few times DJI has really...
They got the prices, yeah.
Well, the thing about it is what it's like you have to trade every year now. It's like I'm getting a new vehicle. And them days of trading every year cars for me is long gone. It's like I told my wife, I was like, these were the last 2 cars we're getting.
Right.
We're finishing out with them.
Right.
Unless we trade them both in to get 1 car because that's how much it's going to cost. Let's see. Let me take this back down. I'm trying to catch up here so we can get back into the meat and potatoes of the evening. Like I said, Angel's running. He's running on the highway on I-5. Have drone will fly. I'm assuming is lurking as well.
How's the traffic out on I-5 tonight?
I would not know. I haven't been on the highway probably in about 2 weeks.
Well, that's good.
We went for my grandson's birthday party. Yeah. Well, no, take that back. It was like this past weekend. I didn't even think about it. We went over the past weekend. We went down there, and it wasn't too bad then. We didn't have any difficulty or anything. But people are leaving the city all at the same time now, so it's like a mass exodus from the city, going down both ways. So it'll be bad till probably about 5:30 or 6, which is about right now. But he said he was going to get home about about 15 minutes, about 10 more minutes. He'll probably eat something and then he'll jump in. I'm hoping. We'll see.
Okay.
But he'll always have his low frame rate because the idea for the show was his. But like I said, you all want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I was trying to think because I was kind of behind. Because like I said, we had the birthday party this weekend, so I was kind of being lazy and hanging out at home. Plus, I was catching up on some streaming stuff too. Anybody seen anything? We'll go ahead and get that out of the way now. Anybody streaming anything good lately? Anybody?
We just got done with something good or whatever. Darn it. With so good I can't remember.
Do you know what network, what streaming channel or streaming?
We watched something on Netflix. It was real good.
Okay. My wife's really been into all the Menendez stuff here lately.
Oh, I had that in the watch list. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Well, it's not just Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's on Hulu. It's like everywhere.
I didn't know that.
Talking about all this different stuff about them.
The 15th of this month on Netflix is the Tyson Jake Paul fight. So
I saw them advertise that tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of Tulsa. Season 2's out. And also Lioness season 2 is out.
My wife started watching that.
I saw the ads for
my
that.
wife started watching it and didn't realize there was 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And, know, so she's starting to get into it. And I've watched a little bit here and there. And she's actually watching it the first season in the other room.
We started watching on Netflix The Diplomat. It's the second season of The Diplomat.
But anybody who said Tulsa King was not going, it was kind of slow, as what is up to date now is not saying that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because things have definitely heated up in the last few episodes.
Yeah. Now I'm getting a little anxious that it's only going to be 1 or 2 more episodes.
Yes, that's what
I need another 10.
Yes, exactly. Because the first thing I did when we finished the 8th episode was I went to compare it to last season. I was like, okay, there should be 1 more because there was 9 last season. There was 9. We should get 1 more. And I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
no,
Somehow
no.
we looked at 1 episode of the first season. Yeah.
We're talking about what's going on right now, Ron. So
I'm saving Tulsa King until it's finished so I can binge it. I don't want to watch it one a week for a couple months. I want to go through.
It's like I'm like Dre. We would rather have season 3 right now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Because
I don't want to trickle charge the Tulsa Kings.
Because the last one especially, man.
No spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil, but Ron, I tell you, you're going to have to hunker down on like a holiday weekend and watch all the seasons at once.
Well, I've seen season 1 of Tulsa King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you get
back on 2 because I want it to be pretty much finished before I started.
Well, when you get to about episode 7, Ron, just be prepared to start grabbing a hold of your seat like you're riding a roller coaster.
Okay.
You'd be like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because they've definitely put some wrenches in some things. Okay, to get back to what's going on here, because basically what I did was I took Angel's idea. Angel was like, let's make it a Thanksgiving theme. And like Ron knows, because he's been with me for quite a while here, I tend to take Thanksgiving off because people are busy that week or they're traveling that week. And the Wednesday before especially, they're either cooking or they're traveling. So I don't like trying to impede on anybody.
Very busy day, Bill. Very busy day.
And then the same thing, when Christmas rolls around, we don't do any Christmas or New Year's shows. I might do something on my own, but everybody has their own families and their own traditions to do things. And I get to give everybody a wonderful update on my hernia operation.
Oh,
So they called me, and I explained to her. I was like, well, there was no way I wouldn't even have family with me until like the 12th of November. I couldn't possibly come in before then. And she goes, oh, we're scheduling now in December. And I was like, oh, okay, gotcha. Never mind. So then she goes, okay, well, I've got Friday, December 20th. And I was like, that's a Friday? And she's like, yes. And I was like, nah. And then so it's the first, I have to do it on a Tuesday, so I'm going to do it Tuesday, January 14th.
okay.
So that's going to be interesting. Y'all might see me, I might actually do a show the next day on, hey, what's that?
You
No.
may still be in your meds, huh? Yeah.
Well, the cool thing is apparently they've started getting the blood supply back up, and so that I'm actually going to be able to schedule it now, which is cool.
Oh, that's right. They were low in blood.
Well, now, and I'm switching insurance too because we're at that point of the year.
Yeah.
We're switching insurance, and she's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and reserve your spot. But you call me as soon as you get your new info on December 1st. I was like, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to get back over here. Wait a minute. There's not enough hours in the day to save me. Scott, I'm terminally ugly. Well, the thing about it is we all found somebody to love us. So we're not terminally ugly. Think about it. I mean, I thank God every day that my wife goes, yeah, I'll stay married to him for another day. So,
But old John Flynn, I'm not judging anybody's look, but he sure gets some good looking fall foliage out there in Western Michigan.
oh, so you're not gonna tell him he's good looking? You're just
Well,
gonna pat his ego even less.
Bill,
I'm not gonna say
into
anything about how you look.
I'm into not judging the quality of men's looks. That's not in my wheelhouse.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
If you want to go with women, we can have a different discussion.
Okay, let's see. When are we going here?
I hear you.
It's hard to explain. I have film footage of the impact. Oh, whoa! I must have missed something to a site,
Impact.
but don't know how to upload to a site. Oh, whoa! What? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. We've missed a bunch. Wait a minute. Wife makes me watch Alaskan Adventure Channels. Oh, we watched Gold Rush, Alaska. We're Parker Schnabel fans, big time.
Wow.
So if you haven't ever watched that, we watched a lot of that on Discovery. Actually, oh my God, it starts this weekend. It starts this Friday, I do believe. Yep. So the new season of Gold Rush Alaska starts this Friday. For anybody that watches that. Let's see, wait a minute. Question, are you aware of my FPV content? No, I do not. I have a 4-minute video with the info. Everyone to challenge everyone to share the hobby with total strangers. Oh, that's very cool. See, I did something. I want to do something again similar to this. Remember when we did the collaboration video, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
We had people send in, and we ended up with a universal format. I think it was 1080p at 30 frames a second.
And we teamed up with that software company
We didn't team up with any software company.
Okay.
We used Filmora's AI.
We collaborated with them.
Yeah, I guess you would say we advertised their software for them for free. Let me see. Let me get down here. One more day. One more day. Yes, I wish.
One more day of the contest?
One more day in the contest. One more day in the contest. One more day in the contest. I'm in no shave November. So I'm just scruffy period today. I laid around and was lazy today. We even ordered pho. And I'm going, as soon as we get done and I tend to my regular duties, I'm going to fix my pho and probably pass out on the couch. Joe Fodolio,
hey,
good
Joe.
to have you in the house as well. Okay,
The master of FPV.
let me. What I did was I took what Angel told me. He was talking about having a session where sometimes, because I was bad for a while too. I know I was compulsively buying every DJI product that came out. It didn't matter if it was a drone. It didn't matter if it was a pocket. It didn't matter if it was an action camera. It didn't matter, and I was, basically I was watching, and I don't know why I did it, but I'd be like watching Billy, and we were hanging out and talking and stuff. So for some reason, I wanted to buy that product every
You
single
gotta stop
time.
watching it. Stop watching.
Well, no, I don't. I mean, he does fantastic instructional videos, but after you've used DJI products once or twice, you tend to know where all stuff's hidden at. So it's much more fun to go on your own and go, well, where'd they put this at this time? Where'd they put this? Oh, okay, it's over here. They've got a new menu for it. Oh. So, but in order, like Ron, who's actually trying to sustain his YouTube channel and be kind of a drone and tech review and discussion channel, he has to do this because, if I was really pushing my channel, I'd have to be buying the drones. I'd have to be getting the little Holy Stone drones. I'd have to throw them all up here to be giving reviews and stuff on in order to build momentum on my channel. So I respect Ron for doing that. Plus, he always does a lot of extra work on Drone Nation by putting out a good show and everything. And I tend to,
unlike Billy, I sell off the old drones, so I'm not collecting every drone I've ever purchased in a trophy room. It's like I'm selling used cars to get the new cars.
well, he doesn't usually have to buy them anymore as long as he does a
Right.
good
But even when he
review.
was buying his own, he had them all up on the shelf.
I mean, I think, wasn't it Geeks Vana that found out that they get paid a little bit and they get the product for free, which, I mean, they give them a boatload of exposure, so there's nothing wrong with it. I've heard a bunch of people that'll try to throw a fit over it. I'm like, why? If they can get somebody to put out a professional quality video for basically, to them it's chicken feed, then why not go with it? So anyway, my biggest problem, unlike Drone Nation, is Bill tends to ramble a lot. Solidifying the ever-present phrase of squirrel madness. So, but anyway, I took Angel's idea and what he was talking about, and I fed it into none other than Chat GPT, and I told it to give me a live stream script. So here we go. We're going
That's what that
Hold
was.
on, Bill. We just got a super chat.
Oh!
Oh,
Jim Droney.
Wow! I did not know that. That's super cool.
We got. CA, does that mean is that Canadian $5?
I'm assuming.
yes, that's like what, $8 here.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's.
Bill?
Wait a minute. Alexa, what is the exchange between a Canadian dollar and a U.S. dollar?
$1 is about 72 US cents.
Ooh! so
like
I got
$3.50.
about $3.50, and then YouTube takes its cut. I get 18 cents.
Now watch what you say tonight. We don't want to get demonetized. Now we're on this roll.
What was I saying? Carolina Aerosol, it's good to see you. Glad to have you in the house. Okay, so here we go. So it says, this is what it came up with. It says, host enters the frame. sitting in a relaxed environment. Okay, maybe with some drones and gear in the background. Okay, check.
Yep.
Okay. Hey. Welcome to another episode of Drone Therapy, the show where we don't just talk about drones, we talk about our relationship with them. And that, I have to admit, I love. I thought that's it right there. That's because that ties it all together. What I was always talking about.
Therapy.
Well, it's not just, like I said, it talks, because I'm always talking about the reason I called it drone therapy was like I could be mad at the world and go out and fly the drone for 10 or 15 minutes and just kind of go, and just kind of be looking at the drone, flying the drone, worrying about the wind and this, and you kind of let everything else go. So for me, it's a great release therapeutically. So drones, therapy. And then the way that the Chat GPT came up with it was, it says the show where we don't just talk about drones, we talk about our relationship with drones or with them. So that consists of like B-roll and different equipment and different technology, Plus, it could be talking about what I was talking about how you. It's got. I thought it was pretty open ended and can cover a lot. Is what I meant, without rambling too much longer. So, and it says, let's see. Today's session is going to be get real. So grab your gear and take a seat. We need to talk about something that might hit close to home. It's the thing that keeps us all in a cycle of constantly upgrading, never quite satisfied. And I'm talking about our need for new gear. And I'm supposed to pause and look into the camera for effect.
You got to fade to black, right?
Wait, no, I'm serious. It's all laid out.
I know, yeah.
I put it in our chat group that we have when we're talking about it. And it says, you know what I'm talking about. We just have to have the latest tech. But why? Why is it so hard to be thankful with what we've got? Why are we all this perpetual race to own the next big thing when we haven't even fully explored the potential of what we already have? So, I mean, that was really cool.
I thought you wrote it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, but I just basically fed it what Angel said. Okay, go for it. I'm sorry. I will shut up for a minute. Go for it. I'm gonna look at the chat.
Well, I'll jump in. From my standpoint, it's about learning to master the drone that you already have. And a classic example, yesterday I did some drone work in between the Santa Ana winds we had down here in California. And I did a couple drone shots where I got asked what drone was I using. And I sent the message back that I'm using my old Maverick 2 Pro. And I did a drop down shot and I used the gimbal action at the same time and did another quarter orbit with some gimbal action doing a reveal shot at the same time. And that's why I always tell people, I said, when you can master the controller, which masters the drone to get all the different cinematic shots, or even if you're doing FPV and you're able to, like I think it was the other day, one of the guys, the two twin brothers out of Chicago area, you guys know who I'm talking about.
Sergio and
Sergio. Yeah. They did a video where somebody was doing like a vertical spin.
Trippy spin.
Yeah, I never seen that before. And I thought that was very unique and very interesting shot and stuff. Now, I'm not into a lot of the flips and whoop-de-doos and everything else, but that shot alone, because it was something new and unique I never seen before, I thought that was very interesting to get almost like he did a 360 in a vertical position with the drone and stuff. So like I said, my thing is learn to master the drone you have before you move to the next level. Because like you always say, what has all these mini drones and new drones since I would say into the Phantom era, into the Maverick 2 Pro, which is the last one inch sensor variable aperture drone that we have gotten over all the other drones. So what have all these new drones actually added to your flying arsenal? You know, my thing is, if your own skill set has not improved, no matter how new the drone is, you're still at the same level.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we got AI for, because, like, you know, ChatGPT read a better show than I would. I'm serious about it. Wrote like 3 pages.
I understand why everybody wants to get the latest and greatest thing. It's cool. You want to see what's going on with it, but if you want to try to upgrade every single time they come out with something, you're going to go broke. Unless you're you know, you got really deep pockets. I don't think it's feasible.
Yeah. Marcus.
Or you're selling things off. You're selling things off as fast as you purchase new ones.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, or you wait too long and you don't want to sell it for dirt. Yeah, like I could only get dirt for my Skydio now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways you can look at it. Like for me, I haven't. Like I said, I haven't bought one in a while. I just bought a Maverick 3 Enterprise last March, but I already made plans 6 months earlier that I was going to do this because I always want to make sure I have a main drone and a backup drone just in case something happens. So that's the philosophy I have. Like I said, I have a couple of old Phantoms. I have 2 of the Maverick 3 Enterprises, multi-spectrum and the Enterprise. And I got the Enterprise Advanced for residential solar, and I got the M30T for commercial building solar work. So, and I can use them both. But like I said, the M30T is just so large and so loud. Everybody in the whole block come out and see what I'm doing. So that's
Yeah.
the advantage of having a smaller drone that can fit in small spaces, a lot more quieter, and you don't disturb the whole neighborhood and what's going on. But that's just me from a business perspective. I have not seen a drone yet, even the Mavic 3T, that I feel I need to go out and get because the thermal sensor is no better than the Mavic Enterprise Advance that
Right.
came out 3
Yes.
years earlier, 3-4 years earlier. And I
Mark's got a good point.
oh,
Since they're being rationed on their batteries,
yeah.
man. Say, hey, I got some batteries.
yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't think about
Yeah, well,
that.
I think a lot of non-professionals, a lot of hobbyists, they're say upgrading drones, not necessarily for things you are like the camera quality, things like that.
hmm
They're upgrading for things like increased battery time, a greater range, and whatever. So they're looking for maybe things that wouldn't necessarily help you make more money. They just like to fly longer and further.
Yeah, and my argument, not that I'd be the antagonist here, but my argument that is even with these longer range batteries we have, the average flight time is still only between 15 to 18 minutes that we fly.
Hmm.
So even though we moan and beg for more flight time, we don't fly that long with these new drones.
Yeah,
Because a lot of the newer ones, like I say, you talk about the mini drones, then you're talking about you can't see them when you fly out extended areas. And
right,
like I say, you only gonna fly so many times in a circle around yourself.
right.
So you get that mentality. Say, I need to do something different. I need to do something more. So then you start reaching out and doing a little more here and there. But that's just me talking from my perspective of why I do what I do, and it's for a business purpose. And Ron, I mean, you do work on the side like I do. I just lucky
Not at
enough.
your level, of course.
Well, like I said, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a position for the city I work for to incorporate drones in my work,
Yeah,
besides my own personal business on the side. So like I said, a lot of stuff I do for my own business, I can't post because of my agreements with the clients. But what I do for the city, oh, they love it when I post all over
right.
Facebook,
The
and a
promotion.
lot
Yeah,
of I put a lot on the same sites that are within the city itself.
Mhm.
So they
yeah.
love that kind of stuff. So I get to do a little more creative work when I do it for the city than I do for my own clients.
Right. And when I'm doing like I only do real estate work, and real estate work, they want and that mostly in the photo side, very little video, most photo, but they want that photo to go in a piece of a software, something called MLS. So they don't want a big file. They don't want it to be
hmm
delivered some supersized raw file. They want a nice, like small compact JPEG file to fit in there. So me shooting with anything beyond a mini drone is useless or whatever, because and low light doesn't mean anything when shooting real estate, because you don't want a bunch of shadows in real estate. So I go out whenever the sun's at its highest, so there's no shadows anywhere around the house. So look, light is never a problem for me. I'm flying at the lightest part of the day, so I don't have deep shadows around the house. So again, I could do me too. Could be the only drone I'd ever need to do any of this real estate work.
Right, right.
Okay,
And-
so but you buy stuff to maintain your channel, right? To help
Well, yeah, I
help
mean,
build views.
not only selling off the old drones, but even though I kind of make peanuts from the AdSense, I probably do make enough a year to, it helps me upgrade a few products.
Unlike you're gonna do what was it? You said you're gonna do the Air. You're gonna do the Air 2S, the Air 3, and the Air 3S.
Yeah, I said maybe not all in the same video, because it's pretty ambitious to get three drones going at once, but at least the Air 2S versus the Air 3S, at least start out with it, whatever. I've already done the Air 2S and the Air 3, last year. So
And what
maybe
did you come up? What was your
two
result?
different videos. So each the drones get a little more, a little more footage from them.
What were you gonna say, Dre?
well, I saw the comment by Props Off about the resale market sucks, but hold on to your hat there, because it's about to do an uptick on the resale market
Yeah,
because of what's going on at the ports and everything else. And like I said, I go through eBay like everybody else does to see what's out there. And like I say, it depends what kind of drone you have. Now, the Phantom 4 Pro series is probably the best drone for resale value because they're still going between 700 and 1100 bucks. And they were brand new 1500. So that's not bad for a drone that's almost 6 years, six years or more old.
Yeah,
And
right. Yeah.
I even saw the price of the Mavic 2 Pro jump up to about 700 bucks. They were down to about 400 a couple months back. Now they've jumped up to around 700 bucks. So I think that the price on some of the older drones and are going to start holding their value a little bit more than what they used to.
And but props off, I agree with the resale market sucks if you want to do something really fast. But if you're not worried about selling it this week or this month or whatever, if
Yeah.
you just want to sit on and hold your price for them, you'll get your price for it. I mean, sometimes I may have a drone sit there 6 months, but I will get my price for it eventually. But don't expect to get your price overnight.
Okay, well, what should be the price for a Skydio 2, not Plus, with 2 batteries, all the filters, the charger,
$50.
Aha.
I was going to say, be appreciative you don't get tarred and feathered.
Bill, I don't. I saw mine, years ago. I think I got 1,200, 1,300 for mine. I mean, I had the full kit with it. Everything. I got like 1,200, 1,300 for mine.
That was years ago. That's what I
They
said, though.
don't, they don't make them anymore, right?
No.
No.
Well, you
can't-
probably get what you want for it. Just list it. And like Ron said, sit on it for a little bit. You'll probably get what you want for it.
Now my question is, did the the Skydio 2, Bill?
Yeah.
Now, did that have remote ID in it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's got remote ID in it, somebody's gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only tipping factor right now is, especially here in the United States, is if the drone has built-in remote ID, then it will still hold some value. That means somebody doesn't have to go out and buy an extra module to sit on top of it to fly it.
Bill, you may get big bucks just selling the batteries.
Well, that's
Really?
like Mark said earlier. He's like, you could probably get more for the batteries than the drone now.
Yeah, I wouldn't even sell the batteries. I rent the batteries.
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
What does that? Scotty they don't support the Scotty 2 anymore.
The only thing they did was make it remote ID compatible, and that was the last thing they did.
Yeah.
End of life.
But it's like Dre said, it's a remote ID drone. So
Yeah, that is the big tricky thing nowadays is remote ID, and that's why I say the Phantom 4 Pro version 2, which has the built-in remote ID now with the firmware update from last year, still holds its value because of that one reason right there. Because anything older than that, you have to get a module for it, which I guess there's been some modules as cheap as 35, 45 bucks now.
Yeah.
So it's becoming a lot more reasonable to go that route if you want to get even an older one.
well,
And there's people go out talking about how they have parents or whatever, somebody come by a estate sale and they bought this Phantom 3 Pro or whatever the case is for pennies on the dollar, and they're on Facebook asking questions. What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go. Let me go back. I'm gonna throw back over here to it. And it says, I was supposed to lean in and offer a therapy session.
Going back to the script.
Yeah, it says, is it the new gear is just that much better, or we just get caught in a cycle of consumerism that we can't break free from? Let's dive into it. The cycle of upgrading, and I'm supposed to grab a drone or a piece of gear. Wait a minute, I can do this.
Gotta have your props handy.
I can hold a battery up. I hold a battery up. It says host grabs a drone or piece of gear and holds it up to the camera. Okay, make it even closer.
There you go.
Mavic 3 battery. Notice it's numbered. Always number your batteries, and don't tell me that you're not. That's the biggest way to screw things up.
Does it say that in the script, Bill?
No, it doesn't say that. Doesn't say that in the script.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
just
We're going off script.
If you got more than one battery, always number them.
Yeah.
Said, okay, let's start looking at this beauty. The drone right here has everything I need to capture incredible shots, shoot smooth footage, and give me a great flying experience. But I can tell you right now, when I first bought it, I was already eyeing the next model. And I'm sure you're sitting here saying, yeah, but what about that new sensor or better flight time? And said, and you put the drone down, look at the camera, and speak thoughtfully.
I'll let Ron and Randy go first on this one.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Well,
few different reasons.
I'll be short and sweet, Randy.
Okay.
Every drone upgrade for years has been an incremental upgrade. There hasn't been a major drone upgrade in years. There's
I
my
agree.
take.
I think the reason a lot of people upgrade, it's several different factors. Like, for one, if you're in the tech, it's cool. You want to see what the next product has. You know, it's interesting. And you do want that upgrade, even if it is incremental. And I think a lot of it is peer pressure. I mean, you're friends with people, you see them getting new tech, you see them having fun with it. And I think it drives a lot of people to upgrade before they really, like Dre was saying, master the product they have. If you're not doing reviews like Ron, there's really no need to upgrade. It's just the want to see that new tech and to, satisfy an itch.
Well, there's more than just that. Like I was talking about being caught up in the consumerism, and I agree with that part of it. But there's also something that I would like to call view envy. So, like Randy, you were throwing into that. So like you're watching it, right? And you put out a video on the Air 3, and let's say Johnny Droneflower puts out a video on the Air 3, both of you get 2,000 views on the video, right? Then Johnny Droneflower goes and buys an Air 3S, and he makes a video and gets 15,000 views on it. And you're sitting here going, well, I know if I had an Air 3S, I could get 20,000 views, And then you're sitting here and you're going, man.
Okay, Bill just froze on us.
He got maybe that's part of the script. Maybe the script said
Part of the script?
at this point.
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah, just for about
Just for a
5
split
seconds there.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry. What?
You're getting too fired up, Bill. Settle down.
Yeah, you got too excited there, Bill.
Wait a minute.
Now
The broad.
there's I would say I don't want to say not double standard, but it also comes down to what kind of videos that you're making. Because see, drones have been around now. Let's just call it even number, 10 years. Okay,
Right.
say 10 years drone videos, and I think we have gone past the ooh and ah stage, where those who watch drone videos have seen drone videos before, over and over again across the globe from every point, north and south, east and west. We have seen people just do drone videos for flying wherever they live at. So now you got to figure out what niche you want to be in, or what is a good niche for you. Like I say, Ron is a reviewer. Okay, I do my videos more of a tutorial when I do my long versions. When I do my shorts, is just to show people work that can be done with a drone. I had a guy today talking about every time you post in our Facebook group, all you do is show the drone taking off and landing, and nothing. He said nothing. He felt was nothing I was contributing to the group. I said, well, first of all, I didn't come here for the engagement. I post my shorts for encouragement. If you listen to the song I put with my shorts and a little bit of words with it, I'm encouraging you to go out and do work with your drone if that's what you want to do. The most of the sites I post in are commercial drone sites. So
Yeah.
I'm showing people you can go out and do work if you hustle and all that kind of stuff. It's there to be done. Now, so that's why I say I like doing tutorials, because that's just my style. From the days I was in the military and the police work and everything else, I've been an instructor for a lot of years. And even now as a safety officer for the city, I do class instructions on safety and everything else. So that comes natural for me. To me, like we're talking about somewhere else today about people want to just go out and fly just to fly. I can't get into that mold just to go out and burn batteries. I have to have a purpose, have a script like you have tonight. When I go out and fly, I have to have it in my head that I'm going to get a shot doing this, next shot's doing that, the next shot doing that, and then we might add little general B-roll shots. Let's go back to the office and try to put something together and produce something. For me to go out and just fly willy-nilly just to be burning time, it doesn't do anything for me.
Oh wow.
It doesn't do a
Okay.
thing for me at all.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Dre. I rarely fly without a purpose.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Yeah, I rarely fly GPS anymore. I'm usually out flying FPV. So
Mhm.
that for me, that's an adrenaline rush and therapeutic. So that's what it gives me. Even if I don't post a video or have any substance to it, it's refreshing for me and it's relaxing.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. But I
now,
don't fly as often as you all do.
yeah, Randy's just opposite of me. When I'm out flying, there's a level of anxiety, everything else, because I'm looking at all the risk factors. I said, "Oh, got to be careful. Don't want to crash this.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
gotta be
flying
careful.
around
I'm over
cows.
there." Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You tell me where you're flying at makes a difference. Where I'm
Right.
flying at, everything. So my thing is, oh, make sure you don't fly over other workers over there. Don't fly over the
Mhm.
traffic over there. Oh, watch out for that, 150-foot crane over there. All this kind of stuff. So my mind is always working about risk factors and stuff.
Oh
Watch
yeah.
this, watch that. So it's a whole different mindset when I
Especially
go
when
out
you're in a
there.
business.
Did you
Right.
see Ronnie's giving you a compliment?
Yeah, yeah, I see.
He also drives the best car.
I
Yeah,
always say all
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
always say all that.
I keep trying to talk my wife into one, but she's like, I don't know.
Well,
I said,
just
let's trade both our cars and to get one good one.
well,
But I
Bill,
mean,
tell her to look up the XJL model,
I doubt it will.
The Jaguar XJL. You sit in the back seat of that thing, you think you're sitting on the couch in your house. That's how spacious and comfortable. I'm talking about this the back seat.
Yeah.
And stuff is.
Oh, I love them.
That's my mom's qualifying thing. Is she says she goes out look for a car because she been driving Lincolns for about almost 30, 40 years. My dad's always bought Lincoln Continentals, town cars. So when they stopped making those in 2000, she had to find something else, and she was looking at the BMWs and some other cars. And then I showed her the XJL, and the first thing she did was get in a dealership. She said, "Let me get in the back seat." And I'm like, "Why do you want to get the back seat?" "Oh, I gotta make sure my friends will be comfortable when we go out shopping together."
That's a good friend.
That's cool, though, man. That's a good friend, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
So
like,
I don't know
oh,
if I've ever been to the backseat of my cars.
oh,
I
man.
haven't been in the backseat of a car in probably 20 years.
I was going to say, since I
Yeah.
said, we lied.
Yeah, maybe since I was a teenager or something when I was
Yeah,
partner.
yeah.
Hey, look at
But
that cornfield over there.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, she wants to get in the back seat first to see how it feels. So when her and her friends go out, whatever, go shopping, they would all be comfortable.
Yeah.
I guess it is true. A lot of newer cars, or when I say newer cars, last 4 years, they don't have a lot of leg room in the back seat anymore.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah.
Okay. So,
Back
see,
to the
where was
script.
that? Yeah, back to
Yeah.
the script.
So where were we?
I put down the drone and I look at the camera and speak thoughtfully. Look, I get it. Tech is always improving. It's exciting to see the new features that pop up in the latest models. But let's talk about something real. When was the last time you fully explored the potential of the gear you already own? How often do you find yourself skimming through features, barely tapping into the full capabilities of what you spent hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on?
Well, I'll take that first. As course server, and a reviewer, I don't just review. I actually do some tutorials. I actually do, videos where I'm showing, I'm going to locations and taking, like videos, almost making like little, mini, mini travel type things too. So I don't specialize in my channel. I do everything to some degree or another. But as a reviewer side, I try to test out all the features on a drone, especially to get a new thing. So I may not use that feature ever again after I reviewed it. Like on the first video, I may demo the feature. I may never go back to it if there's no interest to me, but I usually do try out all the features at least once.
Did you all see who came in when you mentioned the boys from Chicago? Mikey came in and said,
they
"What's
came
up?"
in?
No,
Mikey.
about a minute and a half after you said that, he popped
Is that
in.
right?
Their ears are burning back in
Yeah,
Chicago.
so I thought I'd throw that up there. I thought that was kind of cool.
Now you'd be surprised how many people fly for a long time and never do anything in the settings. Like I know a guy who's been flying the Air 3 for like 6 or 7 months, and he had still never adjusted the gain and expo, the yaw speed, and
Right.
just fine tuning it.
Yeah.
And I showed him till he was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
A lot of
Yeah.
people don't.
Me
A lot of
personally,
people
I sit
don't.
there and I'll go through all
Yeah.
the settings and just check everything out.
And just to jump on that, Randy, that can be a good thing if you want to be a purist and learning how to fly. Now I'll get in and I'll adjust my gimbal sensitivity because that's raising and lowering the gimbal. But
Yeah.
as far as the X of the sticks and stuff, I'll leave them at neutral where they come out the box because I want to be able to know in my hand I'm a thumber. I'm not a pincher. I'm a thumber, so I know how to push that thumb up and back and everything else. And that's what I'm saying. For me, getting cinematic shots, uh, and I also want to be safe. I want to have the full capabilities of the drone to stop, to accelerate, or whatever I need to do in case I need to do it. So that way, I train my hands and my eyes when I'm looking at the screen, because all the drones I have screens now, is to be able to see the difference in how fast I'm traveling
Right.
with the drones and everything else. And that way, I know a lot of folks get in the habit of right hand mash to the top. That drone's running full speed, no matter where they're going, what they're doing, it's full speed. And I tell folks, just learn to back it off just a hair, and you'll be able to figure out how much more you can get in that drone, getting a cinematic shot. Because a lot of times when people talk about with ND filters and trying to control the blur and everything else, I said a lot of that can be controlled in how you're flying the drone itself. You
Takes a
know,
nice steady hand.
there you go. The nice steady hand
Yeah.
is something I look at. Nice steady hand.
Yeah, I mean, when I do play with gain expo tuning, I'm in there trying to slow things down, not
Yeah,
speeding thing up.
yeah.
Yep, and I do that in normal mode, and I'll leave sport mode alone
Yep, I
and keep
never touch
that.
sport mode. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you get into a situation where you gotta hurry up and do something, just click it over into sport mode.
Right.
But I definitely
And
understand what.
back to what Dre said, I almost never mess with the braking.
Right.
No, I don't either.
Hmm. Yeah.
I wish one setting that I wish you could adjust is the zoom speed of the camera. Because when you
Yeah.
pull the wheel, you only got one speed, and if you try
Right.
to do it slightly, it just still wants to jump in and jump out.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's the
that,
curse of digital zoom.
Yeah,
yep.
that's
Yeah.
probably why. Cause you're right, because it's probably digital.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. A lot of people, only use what they want to use. A lot of people never use the quick shots, and I mean that's personal opinion. If you
Hmm.
think the quick shots are junk, I mean that's fine. That's your opinion. Some people love them, some people don't. There's the DJI throws a lot of little things in there like that, which is again, not everybody uses, not everybody needs. But there's camera. A lot of people never adjust the camera settings where
Hmm.
you can make your video a lot more cinematic and better looking by just making
Right.
slight adjustments to the camera setting.
Right. Have a little knowledge about cameras itself can take you a long way.
Well, he's dead right there. Think about it, because everybody that gets the new model drone, what's the first thing they're going to do? Quick shots. And then they're going to upload it, and then there's going to be like a bazillion of them all over every social media you can see.
I
So
think
they're
some of the quick shots are pretty cool, but
right,
for
but
me, the
yeah, go
master
ahead.
shots, I'm not big on the master shots because it just mashes everything together. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, and it's not real cinematic in my opinion.
It saves the files individually, so you can forget that thing it puts together for you and go in and do you edit the shots yourself or whatever.
Okay.
Later on. Hey, Bill, this is off topic a little bit here, but we were talking
We
about
never do
master
that
shots.
here, Ron. What are you talking about?
We talked about master shots, things like that. Do you know that with the release of the goggles N3 today, they have a new easy acro mode. Now they have a what is it? It's
A
a
power flip,
power loop. They have a power loop or
power loop. Yeah.
whatever now for the goggles N3. Now I think is that for the new and the Avata 2 or just the Avata 2?
I think it's just the Avata too. But man, come on. How many of them toy drones did you have that had that flip? Come on. Flip forward, flip backwards,
Well, it's
flip
not
to
a
the
flip;
left,
it's
flip to the right.
an actual loop. It makes it look less programmed or less computerized. The power loop,
It looked
it
just like
actually
a
looks.
flip to me. It didn't look like anything major. I mean, I don't see how it could power loop in that short of a distance. It looks just to me like it's going,
No, the one I seen on the DJI promo video, it was in a waterfall, and it was a pretty
Yeah,
big
it looked
loop.
decent. It looked decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I
right,
thought
but
it was
it's
being flown manual.
oh, I'm not saying that it's not great, but you've got a good sensor in that drone. You can also record at what, a 4K at 120 frames per second, or is it that fast yet? Or is
Yeah, you can do
Avata
120.
2 could do at least 100 frames. Could do 120, maybe.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Vada can do 120 and
Okay.
2.7K and I believe 1080.
Okay.
okay. So, but that's what I'm saying. So, if you just did one of these, and you slowed that down to 100 frames per second, it looked pretty badass, I think, if you got a good camera on it. It would look pretty cool when the toy drones we had with the crappy sensors. But they all had the same thing. Remember, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
They all had that same flip mode or whatever.
Every single one, and that may be its only feature, the flip button.
That
Yeah,
Easy
and-
Acro is actually pretty cool. I didn't think I would be that interested in it, and then I started seeing some videos of some people using it in unique ways, and it kind of piqued my interest. I seen I believe it was Potato Jet. He had a guy sitting in the back seat of a car, and when he went right into the window, he hit the 180 button.
180 drift is the best one.
It spun around inside the car and got a shot of the guy in the back seat, and then went out the other window.
Well, out the window. Yeah.
Yep,
That's
and that
pretty
would be extremely hard to do in manual order.
Uh-oh.
The,
Here it is.
for Ron and Ram, you guys have seen these goggles. What I've seen so far, they seem a little bit bigger. Am I
yeah.
mistaken with it?
They are. They're heavier, too.
The heavier. So, no, my first impression was painted white, and you got the original goggles again.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh?
And that's why I said that looks pretty bulky, like the original ones that came out, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
I was surprised, Randy, that they brought a lot of the features from the Goggles 3 to the cheaper N3s or whatever. It brought a lot of the features along.
yeah. But the biggest thing with the goggles N3 is the latency. It's gonna be like 50 milliseconds. So
Yeah.
anybody that wants to fly like real FPV where you're going fast, it's not really going to be a benefit to that type of person. But if you're flying the Neo and you're just flying around,
You
having
doesn't
fun,
go that fast. You don't have to worry so much about that.
right.
Yeah.
And my thing is, there's no diopter adjustments in the new goggles. So for me,
But you
mine
can,
are
but you can
all
wear
white.
your glasses, though, with them.
Yeah, you can put your glasses on in it.
Yeah.
Well, the V2s, I know you can wear your glasses with the V2 goggles.
Right,
also.
right. Hey, not before we get off back to the subject here. How about another thing the Neo picked up today, along with the goggle update and the firmware update to add the goggles and threes. Now the little Neo could do vertical video, Randy.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, really?
It added now 1080p only, but you could do vertical video in 1080p 30 or 60.
And
Now,
then-
is that
and
like the Air 3 where it just shades out the sides, or is it
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not
Mavic
turning.
3?
It's not turning. Well, I think it's not turning the camera, of course, but I don't. I think it spits out a vertical video. You don't have
Okay.
to. You don't have
Well,
to crop
It
it in.
manipulates in the camera itself.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
the
so
Mavic
in
3
camera.
different? Vertical mode in the Mavic 3, it doesn't shade out the sides, correct? It just has a
Settings
solid.
are- Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the vertical on the Air 3 is more user friendly than say the Mini 4 Pro or the ones that turn completely vertical, because you still have full view of what's going on the sides,
Right.
and it just shades it out, so you can you can frame your shot up, but you're still aware, you have a bigger field of view to see what's going on.
Yeah, but a lot of people get the Neo. They don't want to do any extra work in post. They don't want to have to crop that by 9:16. They just want to spit it out like that right on the. Well, it doesn't have a memory card, but right on the internal drive, right through your computer. So
Yeah.
I see your point, right? But a lot of the Neo people are kind of low tech flyers. They're not worried about all that stuff.
Well, it still spits out the vertical video.
Oh, but you're saying when you see it
You
in
can
real
still
time,
see,
it's
yeah,
all
you
there.
can still see the sides of the camera.
Gotcha.
It frames it for you, but
Gotcha.
it's not blacked out like
Gotcha.
it would be if you were just flying true vertical.
Yeah, and I didn't try. It was too windy today, so I didn't try. So I don't know what the Neo is going to do as far as that's concerned. Whether you're going to be able to see everything.
That's pretty cool though. That's big.
Yeah.
Speaking of low tech, did Angel get a new mic yet so we can hear him?
And a new webcam so we can see him.
No?
We can't.
Can't hear
It's delayed. It's like
Oh my!
we're watching kung fu video.
He's
Yeah,
on
I don't think it's the mic.
Left.
I think it's the delay
Right.
that kills us.
he's on
Oh,
13
man.
frames a second.
Angel,
He's got the
I'm about to send
Armstrong
you
discount package.
I'm about to send you a webcam with a mic in it, or send you my
I
old Rose gear or
got
something,
a
dude.
Logitech. God damn.
He's got all the best equipment. He just doesn't have the speed.
Well,
So he's saying
there's
it's
That's
gotta be
what
a
I
choke
was
point
gonna say.
somewhere.
user error, right? Is that what you're saying, Angel? User error.
There's gotta be a choke point somewhere. Is it either the computer or it's the camera or the mic? Something.
Ron, that sounds like something the old ladies say about a man in the old folks' home. He's got all the right equipment. He just doesn't have the speed.
Yeah. It's got to be somewhere. Bump up that internet speed or something.
I think I got it open. Like,
You up there looking like you got 480p digital camera shooting there.
Oh,
Angel's coming to us from 1999 on AOL dial-up, Dre.
Something going on. Something's
yes,
funny.
happy
'Cause
anniversary.
I know in the past Angel had decent camera and a decent mic and stuff, and it all worked. So something has happened here. Something has happened.
Same stuff.
Oh man.
He's retro vlogging nowadays.
No, Angel. I know what it is. I know what it is, and you're never going to believe me. But you need to run upstairs to the bedroom and mess it up real fast.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, we'll make.
Then
What about now? Better? No.
Yeah, we
better.
get, at least your voice is making complete sentences at least.
Hey, Angel, how was the traffic out on the I-5 tonight?
It's pretty rough. I used the Pocket 3 hyperlapse all the way back home.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
It's like because 52 years for Ray Kelly and his wife. That's fantastic.
wow!
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Ray.
Outstanding.
Here's
Yeah.
something else I
Congratulations.
wanted to bring up here. Dre, when is your birthday?
December 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yours is December 22nd. I don't know what, because
Yeah.
somebody was saying happy birthday to you, and I wasn't for sure
Yeah,
when
I
your
think
birthday
they
was.
saw an old video of me on something I did a couple of months back. But I'll have a new old man video for my birthday. I always do a birthday challenge video.
Ah. Yes, we can kind of hear you in bit pieces.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Mark
Yeah.
White says Angel will be getting the Mike Mini.
The mic.
Yeah.
Man, they say it's like going to be less than $100 though. Like,
$45, Bill.
I don't know if it's going to be.
But what does it work with, Ron?
Pardon?
What does it work with?
The mic, we don't know the Mike Mini's compatibility yet with devices. I mean, you'd have to assume. We don't know if it doesn't come with any sort of a transmitter receiver type thing. It has to work with, I guess, the latest round of equipment, Action 5, Pocket.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it doesn't have Bluetooth.
Well, I don't think it'll have to have Bluetooth if you're not getting a transmitter. That way you can work it with a phone or even other cameras automatically because it will have a Bluetooth.
Oh, so there's no
connection.
transmitter?
I'm going to run it all.
Well, that's what.
Not that we can see those little leaked photos.
Right. That's what I'm asking. If it doesn't come with a transmitter, it has to work off Bluetooth.
Right.
Other than that, it's pretty much useless.
Well, I mean, right now, if you had the DJI Mic 2, you could buy a standalone and it Bluetooths to most of your devices or whatever.
Right.
So you don't even need a transmit. Of course, the quality's not up to snuff if you don't have the transmitter on non-DJI devices. DJI devices like the Pocket 3 and of course the Action 5, the Bluetooth quality is much better than non-DJI devices.
Well, I just want to revisit a question that Bill had earlier about buying equipment and everything.
Uh-huh.
And I know for me, I never been a early adapter because I know like home theater is my hobby. So I know every time I buy stereo equipment, speakers or whatever I walk out of the store with, it's already old news because there's always something new coming out. And the same thing is happening now with drones, that we're getting so many drones coming out. As soon as you get the drone that you bought, it's old news because something else is coming out a couple of weeks later. Now, for me lately, I just now picked up a GoPro Hero 9. That's what 4 or 5 generations back.
Four.
But
We're on
Four
the
back.
13. We're in
well,
the 13 now. Yeah.
13 now. So I can
Still a
say
good camera.
that's my point. It will do what I needed to do for what I needed for. So I didn't want to go out and spend. I got it for. I think I got the camera, 4 batteries, a charging kit, bunch of those little crazy accessories for you to wear with it, everything else. $160.
And when you're posting a video on YouTube or something, nobody's going to tell the difference between the 9 and the 13.
Right. And like I said, I tested it out the other week when I did a what we call it time warp thing,
Mm-hmm.
me commuting to work, just to test it out because that's what I wanted it for, was to do the hyperlapse time warp, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That was the reason I wanted to add that to my photography bag. I have a quick camera I can just pull out, set it up on something, boom, catch a quick time warp thing. Like you said, being convenience and be able to do things right away makes it so much easier in the field. And that's why I was talking on Bob's show earlier today. They had Aldrin there, and I asked Aldrin. I said, "Or do you film everything by yourself, or do you have a crew?" Because I know like Potato Jet has a crew he travels with, and Aldrin says he does everything by himself. He has one other buddy that comes help him every once in a while. But he says mostly all of his videos are by himself. And that's why I say sometimes when you're a solo creator, everything's by yourself. That means you're setting up the shots, you're staging everything, and you're executing everything. And that way you don't have a lot of time wasted trying to go through menus on little screens to find the right mode that you want and everything. So it's helpful to have multiple cameras. So that way you can have one camera over here doing your main shot. You can have another camera over here doing something, other type of shot over here, and get it all done in one take. Because it's time consuming to go back and forth to keep doing takes of something that's only going to be
I
no
totally
more than
agree with you,
15
Drake.
seconds.
I'm a solo operation 99.9% of
Yeah,
the time. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Fellas,
that's,
I'm gonna have to head out. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, so
oh, okay. Well, get your
hanging
rest,
on.
partner.
I'm going to run soon too because I got to edit. I'm trying to get done, and I won't be around most of the day tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get it
Oh, you
done
guys
before
going
I
to
go
leave?
to bed tonight.
Both of you going to leave me hanging because you know Angel can't talk, so I got to stay.
Well, maybe when Randy and I get off the bandwidth, will pick up, and Angel will come in loud and clear.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
theory. That's a
yeah.
good theory. Bill, you're
You never
muted.
know.
Oh man.
Maybe that Armstrong internet connection is dragging Angel down somehow, Randy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a possibility.
So
All
no,
right, guys. Well, I'll
I
see you
think
guys next week.
I believe I thought this was an interesting show tonight. Bill running off the AI script. Or I know Angel, this is your idea, and so I want to commend Angel for coming up with the topic idea, and then Bill for using AI to even enhance it. We may be onto something here, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I say, I use a script when I go out and fly. Just keep me on task and everything. So it's always good to have either in your head or have it on paper, so you get what you need. It makes it easier to edit.
When you get to my age, it's got to be on paper because in the head that can go away real quick.
Well, either way, it's tough for us, Ron, because in the head, you get a little confused. You put it on paper, you might not be able to read it.
You're right.
Yeah,
Fight a losing battle.
I
Yeah,
say, I say,
I get a teleprompter.
make sure you get that 24 point, font there.
Yeah. Luckily, yeah, the phones have bigger fonts nowadays.
Yeah. Need that. So
So,
All right, Ron. Well,
that's
we
good.
appreciate it. You all have a good one.
thanks for everybody joining us in chat tonight. Thanks for Jim Strode who gave us that great super chat tonight. We're all making money tonight. So
Yeah, and hopefully next week Ron can stay longer,
Yeah.
and we'll put more toys in the sandbox.
yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Good
Good
night,
deal.
everybody. Take
Good
care. Have a
seeing.
good week.
Good seeing you, Ron.
All right. Let's
All
see.
right.
Is it better
Tim,
now?
yeah,
No? Still
let's
You
no?
get
know
that.
what? It
Ron's
is.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Hey,
good
yeah,
because
Yeah.
I didn't change anything. I have not
my
changed
phone
anything.
improves too.
Maybe it was Randy. Randy's choking you out.
Because I haven't changed anything. I have a
Nope, Jim
Logitech
needs to go to bed too, I
4K,
guess.
AirPod Pros 2,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Studio, so it should, nothing changed.
Well, we can actually take off from where we were at on the script and keep going, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Now the angel can
Um,
talk to us.
yeah. Okay, so it says this little guy right here, and I'm assuming to me it would be the Air 2S for me. This little guy right here, some of you might laugh, but it still gets the job done. I've shot some of my best footage with this thing, and guess what? I still haven't reached the full potential of it. I know there are features I've never even tried, which is true with me and the Air 2S. So that goes more back to what Dre's saying, and I still think that that 1 inch sensor is better than the new 1 inch sensor. But anyway, that's just me. And I'm supposed to be. It says I'm supposed to set down the drone, and I'm supposed to look around and be reflexive. Okay, so, host, so Saved by the Bell. Okay, anyway, so why do we keep running to the next big thing when we haven't even given ourselves time to appreciate and master what we already have? Is this because we're afraid we're missing out? Or is it simply easier to jump into the next purchase than it is to invest time and effort into mastering our current setup? Guilty.
Yeah, I think it was myself and Don Doss, Mudball, were having this conversation. And we went back to the old days of people who couldn't program their VCRs for the clock. And I said, and the number one problem is none of us want to read manuals, and that's what it all comes down to. We don't want to read a manual. We don't want, like I said, if it wasn't for YouTube, most of us probably wouldn't be able to learn how to fly a drone. But like I said, we don't want to read the manual, but we'll jump on YouTube and see. Okay, let me type this in and see what pops up, and I'll learn from there and stuff.
Well, were I actually, because I bought my first drone was like a SEMA X5 knockoff, and it had a homing device in it for China, and I was out in the front yard flying it, and basically those the cheap ones originally, like let's say 6 years ago, if you got 50 feet away, it lost signal. So, and I just watched it go, and I was like running, and then I'd come inside, and my wife would look at me, and she'd be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. Oh, I can tell something's bothering you. Nothing. So did you have fun flying your drone? Yeah, I had a ball. And then finally she's like, "Well, where is it? Can I see it?" And then I'm like, "Oh, you watched me lose it, didn't you?" She goes, "It was hilarious up here from the window watching you run around trying to get the signal back."
Oh man!
So she says, "I wish I'd videotaped it, man." And I was like, "Ah!" But anyway, but my second drone was a ProMark P70 that actually had a little drone that you could articulate up and down, and I think it shot 720p video. And I flew it out in my backyard, and I actually flew that thing to death. I was good with it. I knew every detail around it. I could do it was like a big, almost phantom-sized plastic drone, and I could fly it in figure eights in my backyard. I was so good with it. So now I guess that was saying something for those little toy drones back in the day. And I got my wife one, and this was a toy drone, and I think it's already 5 years old, maybe 5.5 years old. And it had a 2-axis gimbal on it, and it still functions to this day. I mean, it was really cool. Now, you would get a lot of, what I want to say, rolling shutter in it,
Yeah.
But other than that, the quality was halfway decent because it stayed fairly stable.
Right.
So, okay, we're going back to what I was talking about. So, Angel, you're waiting on the Mavic 4. What is your, I was really, really, really interested in the Air 3S. And then when I found out that it was a 12 megapixel 1-inch sensor, and then I did my research and everything, and I found out that the pixels they're a lot bigger. So you're not going to get the detailed when you go into it as you would with like the old 1-inch sensor that had more, smaller pixels. So I still to me, that meant the Air 2S was a better drone, in my opinion, and that's what made me pass on it. Like Randy really was really hoping it had a variable aperture, which I would have agreed. I would
Mhm.
have went nuts over it if it had a variable aperture in it too. It
Right.
would have been really hard to pass on if it had a variable aperture in it,
Right.
but it didn't, and it's just typical DJI right now, and they're
Mhm.
just nickel and diming the upgrades, very similar to this. This is why my wife and I only upgrade every two steps. We go every we're on odd. So this is a
Mhm.
15, and we won't upgrade again until the 17.
Mhm.
Which is kind of like to the Ron Brown theory. What we do is we sell our old phone back to the company, and they knock that much off of the new phone.
Right. Right. Uh, like you said, it's I say half a dozen, whatever. Each hand you can go either way. And like you said, what was the last drone that had a variable shutter on it? Was it the Mavic 2 Pro?
Yeah, we were
So
talking about that last week,
right,
right
right.
before you. Yeah, yeah.
The last one that we had was the Mavic 2 Pro with a variable aperture, I should say, on it.
It had a
And
real 1 inch on it.
yeah, and that's why I've said that that makes it hard for me to want to go out and buy something else when the one I have is still technically superior to what's being brought out there. There might be some other things like say flight times and everything else, but like I say, the average flight time for anybody who flies is still between 15 to 18 minutes.
What's
So
up, dude?
there's no big deal. Like I say, I was flying the other day out doing some at the bridge where the train yard is at, and I'm flying just as far as long as that whole train yard is
The
and
Mavic
stuff.
3 Pro has a variable aperture.
The 3 Pro is a variable. I'm not sure
I'm,
variable,
I'm not
but
sure either.
but
Anyway,
now for me, the problem with the Mavic 3 Pro is that the SDK file.
mm,
I can't use it with any third party software, so that's a no go for me. Now for like I say, recreational flyer, knock yourself out. Work for you all day long if it does. But
Angel's been doing a lot of night flying in the city. I don't know if you've seen any of it recently, Dre.
yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I mean, it's and that's just go back to say you guys have and other people who live in bigger cities, the Seattle's, the New York, the Houston's, places like that that have a nice skyscraper, you know.
Mm,
And I even see Lance in the morning where he's doing his sunrise shots on his way to work. He gets shots of the reflections of the sun off some of those buildings. And
hmm
it's nice when you have an area like that. Where I live at, we got maybe two buildings in my whole city that's over 10 stories high. That's it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so like I said, it's nothing to really fly at night where I live at unless I'm flying. I have to fly low. I'm flying. Most of the buildings are only about 1 or 2 stories, and that's it. So I'm actually flying, taking pictures of traffic.
Right. Well, I don't know when I haven't actually flown ever in the city, and Angel keeps telling me to come down and come down and come down, and I keep.
You
Oh
can
God,
fly.
Are you talking again?
Yeah, he's off.
Are you talking again? We're sorry. You told you need to leave all six hamsters in the cage at the same time. You can't
That's
take
it.
any out to rest at all. Stick races are awesome.
Oh, man.
You flew, Bill.
There you
Not,
go.
not, not. I wouldn't say. I mean, like kind of on the. We flew on the backside, but I'm talking about like for a sunrise or a nighttime flight. And you've told me a bunch of times to come down there, and I just haven't done that. I mean, I like going to the what was it? What's the park over there at the don't take pictures of our building park? What is that?
Now you
Okay.
can't hear. Now you can't hear.
Or I'm waiting for it to come through like 5 seconds late, but nope, we
Yeah,
couldn't hear a word you said.
yeah.
We
I
heard you
forgot the name of
laugh.
the park.
You
Yeah.
forgot the name of the park? It's like Olympic Park or something. It's something to do with the harbor. The
Yeah, yeah,
har
yeah. It's one of the waterfront parks.
Yeah, and
Mm.
because the harbor's in charge of it, that's why we can fly there.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's like a city park. We're supposed to be able to do that. But we can actually fly out past what is it like the old granary or the granary and the granary mill, and then you can actually come in the backside and see the Space Needle and stuff. I've actually posted one video. We all went out to the park. It was me, Angel, Lance, Dawn. Who else was with us? Do you remember? We all did crazy things that day.
Now I was going to ask you, have you guys ever been out? Are you able to go out and get a shot from the water side, getting a reflection of the downtown buildings off the water, included in the shot? Is the downtown close enough to the waterfront to get that kind of reflection?
Yeah. And remember the new park they just opened up? If you could find some way to fly down in there and take some photos, that would be super cool. Can you start doing this again? Or I know what. Flashcards. How about that? But
Oh
remember, it's going to come back to us in a mirror effect. So you have to write backwards.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
God damn, what the hell, man?
yeah.
I don't know.
Those shots always look nice. 'Cause I know, like I say, the one movie, Sleepless in Seattle, there was a lot of shots like that because he lived on a houseboat, and he always got a lot of shots off the water of a reflection of the downtown area and
oh, you
everything.
talk about sloped hill in Seattle, man. You could you could actually just ride all the way to the waterfront and launch. I don't know how much because what it will be like if you got all the way down like to the new park, you went down what is it, 4th Street, and rolled down the hill from there, and then hit the new park right where they got the new section, and you could probably make it to the water. I about bet you could. You know what I'm talking about? About where Starbucks. What is this? What am I showing? Okay.
And I've been dreaming.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get convinced that squat. You are. You'll be like, that's not okay on YouTube, but maybe okay on Facebook or TikTok, but not here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I think those are really the really nice shots when you have a waterfront reflection and
Mhm.
stuff. Those are really nice.
Oh, I would love to have a red ride. Okay, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase, man. If we're going to go ahead and talk about all the things we want from the past, I want all the money back and equals $1 billion, and I'll be happy. Then I can buy all the toys I want, especially
Yeah,
the
there you
vintage
go.
ones.
Buy the new ones, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll buy vintage stuff. I'll be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, because one of my favorite things, what was it? Verdi Bird. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Well, it might be a little bit before Angel's time. How old Angel's not? I don't think he's quite our age. But
Mm.
you remember Verdi Bird, the little helicopter where you would fly around and you would pick up the astronauts with the
Yeah, I
bird?
remember. I remember they
Yeah.
had a couple of birds. One that had a little base and it was like on a arcing arm, and the bird would fly around and stuff.
Yeah. And
That's
then there was
I
one
was
on a rescue ship. The
yeah.
other one was on a rescue ship, like a Coast Guard cutter.
Because see, my younger days back then, my big hobby was the slot car sets, and I
Mm.
always wanted to have that little helicopter in the middle of the layout and have it loop around as we're racing the
Oh,
cars.
that would be cool. That would, and then, especially, can you imagine if you had man, if you had that gear now, and you could get like some of the camera gear you got now, and you could
Yeah.
like blow some smoke in, you could make some
Uh,
really cool videos, man.
yeah, that's what I say. But we try to do stuff like that with little cheap little Instamatic. Take a shot, land
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
track.
yeah, yeah.
Like yeah,
Or
yeah,
you pick up a hand of dirt and go, okay, ready, ready,
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Oh man, yeah,
Oh
that was
yeah,
kind of cool.
oh yeah.
Angel, are you there?
Yeah, he's there. He just can't speak.
I don't. This is terrible, man. This is terrible. I
Oh
don't
man.
understand.
We got to do a GoFundMe for Angel. Either get him a better internet service or buy him some new gear.
It's something to do when you laugh. We can actually kind of hear the laugh here and
Yeah.
there. It's really weird. I don't know if it's you're being very polite and quiet and
No,
not.
no, no.
See,
There
there
he
you
is.
go. We heard every one of those no's.
Yeah, we heard all of that. Yeah, that's I got. I have Xfinity too, but every now and again. Well, no, that used to be. I think it's this one every now and again. No, it used to be StreamYard. I think we would stutter. I don't remember, but I switched over to this. We still get a discount for this one. Like I said, it's only 15% off, which is basically like uh, $30. Excuse me, $35 maybe. This is a decent software. Plus, you can also use this software for free. You just have to keep their watermark up here in the upper right hand corner, and you get 1080p, and you can have 6 guests, I believe. With the paid version, you get 10. Oh, my volume's low.
No, you sound fine to me.
I was just no. That was a minute ago. I was trying to think if
Oh,
being my quiet self. I think that's what Tim was talking about.
oh, okay.
Instead of being so frantic and manic and
So
no, I don't
how,
have
mu-
medication.
how much you paying a month for this Emux?
Oh, I paid it yearly. I think it was like
Okay.
altogether it was like $190. I don't know for sure. I may just
Okay.
go back to the free version for a while, to be honest with you. But I do know that there's. I think it's what was it? Painkiller 24 will get you 15% off. 6 months monthly, a 6 month
Mhm.
subscription if you want to pay on the monthly, or if you want to pay for the annual fee, it will get you 15% off of that. Like I said, I think if you do it monthly for 6 months, you save like $18. If you
Mhm.
do it for the year, you save like 35. So,
Mm. Yeah.
oh, Grubhub. Yes, you remind me my food's in there.
Yeah.
Get Starlink. Oh, okay. Let's not. I don't want to. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. I have to be
Yeah.
quiet.
Well, I can't complain. I can thank Curtis Dart for turning me on to this YOLO box that I have.
Yeah.
And I got the expensive one, but like I said, to be able to stream in 4K,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to have guests, I can have up to 4 guests come in on the show. I got to send you an email link, and just like you do me, I pop in and I can bring you in. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
different format than what you guys have. It allows me to have up to 4 HDMI inputs cameras, and I can use 2 USB-C cameras with it. And then I have the input off of my little small mixer here from Fifine or whatever, little
Mm-hmm.
small audio mixer. So I mean, it's expensive, but I like the quality of the work, and I don't have to have a computer on at all if I don't want to.
Oh, that's cool. That's super
Yeah,
cool.
it has nothing to do with the computer at all.
Yeah. That's
So,
awesome.
so that makes it portable. I can use in the field and use my phone as a hotspot for it, and still broadcast out from
This
out in the field.
I wanted to ask Angel. Does this mean anything to you, Angel? Okay, I was gonna because he's brought it up a couple of times. He keeps because earlier he was like, "Pull the cups tighter, and then he said, "No, pull the string tighter." And so he kept saying, "Pull the string tighter."
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember clackers?
Yep. Click clacks.
I don't remember click clacks.
Yeah, they're early '70s. They're 2 acrylic balls, and you clack, 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 clack.
Oh
They
yeah,
go
yeah,
full
yeah,
speed,
yeah,
and they go
yeah, yeah,
clack,
yeah.
clack, 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 clack.
Yep. I
And
do.
then
I remember
then,
that
you, then
now.
you'll
I
miss
do.
one, and it hit you in the forearm, that big old knot.
Yeah, I do remember that now. I remember. Or you do something stupid and you get too close to your grandmother's trailer window.
Oh wow!
And
Mm-mm.
then your uncle looks at you for 15 minutes and just stands there. What? You gave it to me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh man.
What else? Like, I actually have the Evil Knievel because they started making them again. I actually haven't. And
Oh, is that right?
I put him away in the box. He's actually, my wife has him stored in storage. And he
Mm.
has never been run from his crank
Oh,
and
crank,
ramp and
crank
stuff. Yeah.
station. Yeah. For me, I went from Hot Wheels to slot car sets,
I
and
still
then
collect Hot
crank
Wheels.
and train sets.
I still,
That was my growing up
I
days.
picked this up today. No, yesterday. Picked this up yesterday.
Okay. The Beamer, huh?
This is a Pontiac Aztec Custom.
Pontiac. I
Yeah,
saw
that's
that
what I said.
front grill. I thought it was a Beamer.
That's why I grabbed a hold of it. I was like, "Ooh, that looks really, really sharp."
Mm.
But my problem is I don't find treasure hunts or super treasure hunts as easily as it seems everybody else does.
Mm.
So
Well, I just tell those, a lot of them people. Like I said, they just troll uh, eBay and places like that nonstop, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I got
Well,
better things to do.
you want to hear something wild? Tim Jackson, Hot Wheels now owns Matchbox, same company.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not trying to. It's like us talking about. It's like people. I can remember like when I was little and when Dre was little. Your family could get by on just your dad's income. He'd make a house payment and two car payments. Y'all'd still eat like kings, and you'd go on
Hmm.
vacation once a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that
Yeah.
was so cool.
Yeah. My mom used, my dad was in there. He was in the Air Force when I first was born, and I remember my mom would take a little side job at the local store out in town just for a little extra money. No big deal. Didn't have to work. My mom volunteered more than anything else. Like you said, didn't have to work, but she didn't want to be sitting up in the house all day
Hmm.
and stuff. So she would do volunteer work or take a little side part time gig. That's how I got, my first Hot Wheels set, 1969. My mom worked at J.C. Penney's in Fontana, California, and part of her check, she would keep stuffing cars into the box. So when I got that on Christmas, I had like 20 cars,
Oh wow,
and I
cool.
had to set with the two supercharger houses because she bought two of everything. So I had two supercharger houses, all this track, about 20 cars. I was like, best Christmas ever.
Do you remember I can't remember who. I don't remember if it was Mattel that came out with them or not. They were called Sizzlers. You could charge them up and put them on the track, and they go.
Yeah, yeah, that came out early 70s, but to me, it just didn't take the place of slot car. I was a
Oh
big
yeah, but
AFX.
have you looked at the slot cars now? Do you want one now? Those things are so lethal looking.
Like I say, I still old school. If I can find, I think I saw one eBay AFX giant layout for almost $300. The G plus cars. I said, when I first bought my house 30 years ago, I had a track laid out in the garage, dude, to fold up against the wall and stuff.
I used to have a hoe scale train in my basement
Yeah,
when I was growing up. My dad
yeah,
got me into it. I loved
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's why I had HO scale. My first one I saw was an Engage scale. My first cousin had at my grandparents' house in Illinois, and I kind of like it was. He had it all laid out and had the hills and the green grass and the forest and everything else, and that's what got me interested in that kind of stuff, man.
That's what I got. I bought my first video camera. I think when I was 15 years old, maybe. And it was the big one you carried on your shoulder, but it was cool because it was right after I used a lot of the ones you put on your shoulder and held like
Mm-hmm.
this, but this one actually had a cord coming out and I had a handheld unit that I could run back to the big
Mm,
VHS tape,
mm-hmm.
and I actually did a lot of weddings and stuff with that. I did a lot of receptions and stuff with that. Did some band videos with that.
Mm.
And then, I used to really get into that, but I just, for me, it's more of a hobby, I guess. And
Well,
it never,
like I always say, Bill, life happens is what it goes on.
yeah.
Unless you're willing to sacrifice a lot of other things, that could be your life. But you got to remember, what was your life been like if that's what you always just wanted to do?
Well, like I thought, I've farted around way too long in my life, but I just happened to get lucky and run into the right person. Like I said,
Hmm.
I'm happy, grateful every day that I wake up and she's there. So because
Yeah,
she's the one that keeps me, she'll light into me when she needs to, and she'll be like, okay, yeah, okay, when she needs to, or she'll be
right.
really compassionate when she needs to, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what they're there for.
yep, yep. As long as you got one that stands by you, you can't complain then.
Nope,
And
nope, nope.
stuff. Well, Bill, I'm gonna call it a night, my friend. I
That's
appreciate
perfectly
you
fine. Thank you very much. It was great
inviting
having
me
you.
on. I don't want to leave you here hanging with the voiceless one, but what can
No,
we
no,
do?
we're only going to be on for a couple more minutes anyway. We'll see if you leave if he's actually able to speak again.
Oh
So
boy.
thank you very much for coming on. It was a joy. It's always a fun.
Anytime. I appreciate it.
I
Thank
All
you.
right.
appreciate it too. Thank
Here
you.
goes Ray.
Oh, now you're talking. Nope, nope. There it goes again. I don't understand. This is so weird, man. Yeah, I still
I'm
not hearing.
I'm going.
There we go. Yeah, There you go. No, I can actually hear you say, I'm going.
I'm going to update my Mac software. Maybe that's the
Ah,
problem.
possibly. Yeah. Well, anyway, so maybe, okay. But, like, we didn't get anywhere near the whole show, but what I wanted to say before I signed off here, I'm glad to have everybody. When Bill and Angel won't be arguing about anything. We're not. No, we argue in private chat. We don't argue on the show. We don't really argue. It's just like, hey, I go frantic, and he's like, just settle down. Just settle down. Psh, settle down.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's like if anybody's ever seen Blazing Saddles, it's kind of like that. One of those things. But anyway, what I was talking about earlier, what I would like to do, because we're only going to do, what I say, we got 2 more weeks before we take a week off for Thanksgiving, right? 2 more weeks? Or is it 3 more weeks? 2 more weeks. 3 weeks before? 3 more weeks. 3 more? Okay, so 3 more weeks. So in the next 3 weeks, we're going to do what I was wanting to do. Like next week, I want to talk about, and hopefully Angel will be able to talk, or if not, we'll go out and buy him flashcards so he can say, I want to, and it'll be funny. Maybe he'll get them out of order, and it'll be funny whatever he puts up. Anyway, but what I want to do is discuss the collaboration thing again. I would like to get more people watching the show and hanging out on the show. Just long enough because, like I said, we did one once before. It came out really, really cool. I will put the link to it. Probably, I will put it after the show. I'll put it up or something. Or I know what I'll do. I'll link it on the show page. So that if you go to Coast Drones, it'll be the video that plays. So what I want to do is do it once again. And I would like to get as many people as possible. Like last time we did it, there was some snowy weather, there was some rainy weather, and people still got footage. The snowy weather was super cool because people sent it in. But basically what it is I'd like to get at least, let's say 10 to 20 submissions would be great. And then we would feed them into Filmora's AI and let it spit out the other end. I mean, we would all look through it. I would put the Filmora app up so that people could look through what I was looking through at the same time, and we could pick out which template we wanted to use, like what I did before, and then we'd let it arrange the video clips however, and then it will put music to. Maybe we could even pick out a song or something from one of the music servers. Epidemic Sound's what I'm using, so that's probably where it would come from because it would be legal to play on my channel. And then we'll talk about that. And like I said, the format we used once before was 1080p at 60 frames a second, 30 frames a second. So it'll probably be something like that. I know we've upgraded a little bit since the last time we did it. It was like 2 years ago, which would be cool. It just depends on if everybody wants to go, because 4K at 30 frames per second is going to take a long time to process. So 1080p at 30 frames per second, say a 30-second clip would be sufficient. And then what we would do is we would put all them together in the app and let it spit something out the other end. And that would be our Collaboration 2 video. So that's what we'll be discussing next week. And then the week after that, since I've been talking about having a script with AI, the week after that we will plan. I'll put Chat GPT up here, and we'll feed it in ideas until it tells me I can't talk to it anymore, and then we'll take those ideas that it spits out, and we'll make a show for the show right before Thanksgiving. Like, the ideas that we need to feed it are, Thanksgiving themed live stream on YouTube about drones. Or things along that line. We can add stupid shit to it too to make it funnier. I'm fine with that too. And then we'll when we get done with it, I will email all the guys that are going to be on the show that next week, so that we'll figure out who wants what part, and then we'll actually do it straight from the script on that show, but live for everybody. And I think it should be fun. So, with that being said, like I said, hopefully Angel will update his software and that will fix everything. Thank you very much for being with us. live long and prosper, and Angel might speak